Welcome to the video of Konstantin Kisin and Andrew Gold. I thought this would be a good one to review. It's 7 minutes long. Very interesting discussion. Konstantin Kisin, you may know from Trigonometry, and Andrew Gold, Heretics. Both are very, very popular in the world of podcasts, interviews, YouTube. I like this video. I watched, I've gone for about 3 or 4 minutes myself, and I thought, no, we'll do the rest while we're live. Happy days. And then we'll go from there. Let's listen to what's discussed with regards to Islamic extremism in Britain, and we'll review it as we go.
A lot of people are concerned about Islam. I think a lot of people are now very concerned. People who even 5 or 10 years ago would have said, oh no, that's racist or whatever, very concerned now. And it historically, it doesn't sort of just stop, does it? It's sort of, if we look at Iran, Lebanon, Afghanistan, what happened there, are you concerned that's going to happen here?
But in none of those countries did it happen by a few million people coming in through immigration, right?
Well,
as far as I know,
perhaps not. No,
no. So it's different.
The main thing is about having enough numbers, and they were sort of promulgated or pushed up by the left in those countries.
You have to flesh the argument about what's this fear that you're talking about.
In Lebanon and Afghanistan and Iran, they had quite secular societies. They were flawed societies, of course, because they're sort of royal family kind of aspect. But the left in those countries formed an alliance with radical Islam and then took over. Then the left were killed. My concern here is you don't need a huge majority of people from a culture that has a much fiercer tradition than ours and feels stronger about their own culture than we do for them to take over. They don't need a majority for that. Yeah, and they can win democratically.
Well, I think they're a very, very long way away from winning democratically. I think it's very important to distinguish between a number of things. I wrote an article about this on my Substack. I don't know if you saw it. About Uzbekistan and Islam. So you can have the philosophical and religious arguments. They're perfectly legitimate arguments. I'm not that interested in them because we're talking at the level of politics here, right? How do you solve a problem is kind of what you're asking me, right? Or do you worry about this issue?
Sure.
So my sense is I've traveled to various Muslim countries in the former Soviet Union and elsewhere. And Muslim countries and Singapore, which is a non-Muslim country, are much better at dealing with the problem of radical Islam than we are.
Yeah.
And the reason is
we're too scared. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's more to do with the Islamophobic. And we got all people saying this, that, and everything else, left, right, and centre. And as soon as you say something like they do with Tommy Robinson, that's it. You're racist. That's probably why.
They don't bullshit themselves about radical Islam because they don't have political correctness that has to pretend that Islamists are these brilliant, peace-loving people, because they understand that these are the extremists within their own society. In the same way that, we were talking about it before we started, Hasidic Jews are kind of on the extreme end of Judaism. And there are certainly, I can tell you from personal experience, some Christians who are on the extreme ends of that religion. I'm not saying they're exactly equivalent. I'm not saying Christians are doing suicide bombings left, right, and center, or the Hasidic or whatever. But my point is, Muslim countries generally tend to be able to deal with this problem better, mostly, because they understand these people are extremists and they do what we should be doing with extremists, which is cracking down on them as hard as possible.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Now, people will say, well, that's, prejudice against the Muslim community. Or no. I think we should take the Muslim community at their word. Every time there's a terrorist attack that's committed by an Islamist, we are told that most Muslims are peace-loving people who want to be British and integrated and peaceful as much as we do. Okay, I believe that. And we're told that around the world, and this is factually correct, the biggest victims of Islamist extremism are Muslims. That's a fact, because what we've done is we've imported the civil war that's raging within the Islamic world into Britain between the people who want.
Think about though, if you were a Muslim and everything that's going on in the world is Islamic extremism, terrorism, suicide bombs, and God knows what else, would you not just denounce Islam and get away from it? why would you still remain a Muslim? I mean, are you secretly like all for it? That's the problem, because say, I'm moderate Muslim. No such thing.
A caliphate and the people who are actually quite happy with nation states. So we should be very firmly on the side of the moderate Muslims who want to be part of Britain and who do not want to impose their religious worldview on this society. Look, they're more socially conservative than you and I. Given the craziness of the work left, I don't think people who love family and want to have large families and, think that, having kids out of wedlock, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in and of itself. I know this is, I'm kind of making a separate point here, but here's what I'm trying to say. If we take the Muslim community at their word, they should be at the very forefront of joining with us in cracking down on Islamist extremism.
But they don't.
Yes.
Why don't they?
Except, as Yasmin Mohammed would tell you, or that she believes that an atheist Muslim is a dead Muslim. Or in other words, by speaking out. I mean, I think it's more dangerous for Muslims to speak out.
How can you be an atheist Muslim? Sorry, if I'm being
somebody who was a Muslim.
Ex-Muslim, okay.
An ex-Muslim basically is a dead Muslim. I mean, she has to sort of not publicize where she's going.
But is that happening a lot in Britain? Like people who say, you know what, I'm going to drink some beer. Like I used to gig with a comedian whose whole set was about the fact that he used to be a Muslim and then he discovered bacon. Like he hasn't been killed.
I think
that's just brilliant. But there are certain people like who just won't allow that. That's the problem. Like no one else cares. You leave Christianity, leave Judaism, not a problem. But under Sharia law, if you leave Islam, you're dead.
I think, bacon is one thing, but coming out and openly criticizing the harsher aspect or the more extreme sides of Islam in this country, I think
But I'm not saying people in the Muslim community need to do that. I'm saying we should take the Muslim community at their word that they, like us, want us to crack down on Muslim extremism, Islamist extremism, as hard.
But do they? That's the thing. Do they really?
As possible. Deport anyone who commits a crime of any kind that's to do with that ideology, who's not a citizen of this country, up to and including stripping new citizens of British citizenship if they do so. We should be a lot harsher. I don't give a fuck about, this person doesn't have, the right to a family life might be infringed. I don't give a fuck. They're a terrorist. Get them out of this country. It's not complicated, right? Build prisons where you separate these people from the rest of the prisoners so they can't indoctrinate other prisoners in the jails. There are lots and lots of things we could. Yeah,
I don't know if you know, but prisons are a real problem because the amount of Muslims that are actually in jail, and they literally try and run the prisons as actual like Muslim entities and indoctrinate. So what happens? They come out on the streets and there they are, and the chances are they end up going all stupid and extreme.
Tahrir was only banned in Britain. This is an Islamist organization after October 7th. It'd been banned in every Muslim country in the world pretty much for decades. Right? Same with the Muslim Brotherhood, right? Like same with the extremist imams. Just get.
Yeah, that Muslim Brotherhood, it's actually registered in this country as, you wouldn't believe it, a charity. But any other country, it is a full-blown terrorist organization. And it is a terrorist organization. But for some reason, UK allows it to be a charity.
These people out of our country or stop them from doing the extremist shit that they're doing, and stop being afraid of offending the Muslim community. The Muslim community have told us they are interested in peaceful coexistence, and they're interested in getting rid of these Islamists just as we are. Great, let's work together.
I feel like we need to change our culture first.
I know what you're saying, but it clearly states in the Quran to kill the Jews and then the Christians. So, I mean, I'm a bit like, moderate Muslims. Is that even such a thing? Like the other day, someone said, like, there's a stick in the grass, and then you got the moderate Muslims are actually the grass, so they're hiding the snake type scenario. I thought, what a good analogy, because that's probably what it's like. If it was that bad, surely Muslims could just say, right, we denounce Islam. That's what I don't get.
politics in this sense is downstream of culture. And 13 years ago, Stacey Dooley was out and about going, look at all this. It's terrible what's happening. All these Muslim, all the things. You couldn't have a documentary like that today. I don't
No, you
think.
couldn't. But that's because, as I say, the criticism of extremists and Islamists has been positioned as criticism of Muslims. But what we should be saying is, no. We want to work with Muslims in this country to deal with Islamist extremists.
Oh, man.
So there you have it. What do you think about that then?
Do you worry about ChatGPT?
It's I'll bring up our actual video here, but that one, if you go down, the links are there to Andrew Gold, and the links are there for Trigger Pod for Konstantin Kisin. If you want to watch them, the video clip that we just watched is there, and the
A lot of people are concerned about Islam.
It's all there, but I don't know. Where do you stand for extremism? I mean, it's a bit of a weird one because you've got the Muslims that, like, I suppose you have with like all religions, they don't know the ins and outs of everything. But if Islamic extremism is that bad and they're that desperate to integrate and do this and do that within Britain, why do they stay in Islam, within Islam? Why do they do that? I don't get it. Because you'd leave. It's that bad. I mean, you know, everything that was going on in the Catholic Church, and they're saying about the kids, and they're finding all the bodies and all the other sort of sexual stuff and that. I'll be like, that's it. I'm done. Get me away from anything to do with Catholic. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe look at Christianity. I mean, that I know there's stuff in all religions. Of course there is. They're not all innocent. But I mean, with Islam, it's just beyond belief. It's literally like they, in the name of God, like it's supposed to be a holy thing, they kill people. They literally blow them up, murder them, grooming gangs. I don't get it. I just don't get it. They should, like, those sort of Muslims should denounce Islam. I don't think there is such a thing as a moderate Muslim anymore. They're all like secretly like, yeah, go on, do it. Like, even to this day, like 60% of Palestinians actually agree and support Hamas to this day for everything they've done and what they've done. It's crazy. So you have to let me know what you think in the chat, because I don't know, it can give you an headache, but like, you will get called Islamophobic. It's Islamophobia. How dare you speak out? But I think now, really, more than ever, Muslims should be turning their back on the so-called Islamic religion, because it's not a religion. It is not a religion in any shape or form. I mean, blimey, what we just heard there. People are scared to speak out. I'm all right. I'm still a bit of a small channel, but
and peaceful as much as we do. Okay, I believe that. And we're told that around the world, and this is factually correct, the biggest victims of Islamist extremism are Muslims. That's a
I say that, like, I know what you're saying, but that's a bit where I'm like, but they can willingly just turn their back on it, surely.
fact, because what we've done is we've imported the civil war that's raging within the Islamic world into Britain, between the people who want a caliphate and the people who are actually quite happy with nation states.
And that's it. And then illegal immigrants, all men of fighting age. What can I say? But anyway, let me know what you think about this. I'll be very interested to see what you say in the comments. It's I don't know. I mean, what you can and can't say. Konstantin Kisin says it when, like, people are scared to speak about it or even like action or anything like that, because that's it, you just get labeled as Islamophobic and blah blah blah. Just gets boring. But I don't get it. The fact is it's so obvious in what it is, like satanic. Yet we've all got to bend over backwards and allow it, like the niqab and the burqa and all that, just oppress women. We have to allow for a so-called prophet that's marries a 6-year-old and consummates the marriage when she was 9. But we're not allowed to say anything because you'd be Islamophobic. But let me know what you think. I'll be interested in what you say. Thank you very much for watching. It was good to review a bit of Andrew Gold and Konstantin Kisin for a change. I'm sure you can let me know if you want to see more, and I'll do more of the old reviews because they are very interesting. It's quite it's quite a good thing to sort of listen to what other people say, what they think. Opens one's mind, I feel. So it's all happy days. But I think we really, really need to be standing up against Islam and protect Britain for what it is. But let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Every little helps because I keep getting shadow banned because of my types of video. What can I say? But for now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hello. I saw that. There's me just about to say my ending line. The more I hear about this ideology, the more I think of the one world religion in Revelations. Yeah. There's something going on. And it does seem that way because, like, one world religion, like, you know, you'll like it or you die. You'll change to our way of thinking or you die. Do you know what I mean? And they say Muhammad is the greatest example of man for all time. Really? He'd be arrested. He'd be a Jeffrey Epstein today. There he was with that, what we say before, the El Zut. There he is with his all his men having a nice homosexual encounter, but yet they kill gays. Strange. Wonder why that is. So regardless of what we say and what the actual Quran and Hadith say, they're not interested. They're like, oh, whatever. So yeah, I think if we're not careful, before you know it, Islam will be taking over Britain. I mean, it's only 6%, and look at the effect it's having now at 6%, and like over 40% of prisons are Muslim. I mean, where can we go from here? Where can we go from here? And if you're wondering why it's just my logo today, not my face, I've had an allergic reaction to some shower gel. It looks like I've gone with the pronouns and I identify it as a tomato or a lobster. But Konstantin Kisin's a very, very intelligent man. He knows what he's saying. So he knows. But I think he did say a thing a bit later on, actually, didn't he?
So we should be very firmly on the side of the moderate Muslims who want...
That was good timing. On the side of moderate Muslims, is there such a thing as a moderate Muslim, though? Is there? Like I say, I mean, they go home, do their thing. They're all secretly, you know, they want the world to be Muslim. Do you know what I mean? There are hard times ahead. Yep. Stay strong, definitely. The sound is much better today, Wiz. Happy days. Yeah, I had to mess around with it. I had to make sure my plugs are in. That was a nightmare, wasn't it? So, and it's where I'm not showing my face. It's literally just above my head. So, you know, it's not in front of my face.
to be part of Britain and who do not want to impose their religious worldview on this society.
But that's why they come here, is not to be a part of Britain. It's to influence Britain. It's to try and take over Britain. It's to push their ideology on people. That's the whole idea. They're not here to integrate, to assimilate, to be a part of. Hence why with that stupid charity family run, oh, men only and girls under 12. That's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean?
Look, they're more socially conservative than you and I. Given the craziness of the work left, I don't think people who love family and want to have large families and, think that, having kids out of wedlock, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in and of itself. I know I'm kind of making a separate point here. But here's what I'm trying to say. If we take the Muslim community at their word, they should be at the very forefront.
I think that's dangerous, taking a Muslim for his word. Are you for real? Like, that's like, doing the sleight of hand thing. Say one thing, means something else. That's all they do. That's why we're in the mess we're in.
Of joining with us in cracking down on Islamist extremism.
But they don't want to. That's what I honestly don't reckon any Muslim would turn around and say, oh, what they're doing is bad. They support it. It's all in the name of Islam. That's what they want to be. If they were that adamant, they would denounce it. They would be an apostate. They would turn to Christianity or Judaism. Yeah, he did say if fair play, Slim. He did.
Yes. Except, as Yasmin Mohammed would tell you, or that she believes that an atheist Muslim is a dead Muslim. Yeah. Or in other words, by speaking out. I mean, I think it's more dangerous for Muslims to speak out.
How can you be an atheist Muslim? Sorry, if I'm being...
Somebody who was a Muslim.
Ex-Muslim, okay.
An ex-Muslim basically is a dead Muslim. I mean, she has to sort of not publicize where she's going.
But is that happening a lot in Britain? Like people who say, you know what, I'm going to drink some beer. Like I used to gig with a comedian whose whole set was about the fact that he used to be a Muslim and then he discovered bacon.
See, even saying that, though, they're going to get themselves at it. Oh, how dare you do it? Like that bloke on Sky News, and they actually edited him out because he put bacon on his shoulders on his T-shirt. Do you know what I mean? Saying, oh, they won't come near me because of bacon. It makes you laugh. Like, you can marry a 6-year-old, consummate the marriage when she's 9. You can have a load of men in a cave and have a big old orgy, big homosexual orgy, but you're not allowed to eat bacon. That makes sense.
Like he hasn't been killed.
I think okay, bacon is one thing, but coming out and openly criticizing the harsher aspect of the more extreme sides of Islam in this country, I think.
But I'm not saying people in the Muslim community need to do that. I'm saying we should take the Muslim community at their word that they, like us, want us to crack down on Muslim extremism.
See, take them at their word. No, I won't. I can't do that. For what they're taught, the Jew hatred, the Christian hatred, the oppression, to take them at their word, they want to be a part of the British way of life, culture. No, they don't.
Islamist extremism as hard as possible. Deport anyone who commits a crime of any kind that's to do with that ideology, who's not a citizen of this country, up to and including stripping new citizens of...
Just get them out, full stop, end of. Yeah, it's the Quran, because obviously they're not allowed to damage the Quran, are they? So he had the Quran verses printed all over it. So but it happens everywhere there are Muslims. It used to be easier for ex-Muslim to get away with it, but try living in Birmingham as an apostate of Islam. Yeah, exactly. It's a no-no, but trying to say that like they're all like we should listen to them, like no, that time's been and gone. Like I've never in my life, after any type of extremism in the world of Islam, heard a Muslim turn around and say that was bad. Never. Why aren't they saying that? They say nothing because in their head they are complicit, and that's bad.
British citizenship if they do so. We should be a lot harsher. I don't give a fuck about, this person doesn't have, the right to a family life might be infringed. I don't give a fuck. They're a terrorist. Get them out of this country.
Yeah,
it's not complicated,
exactly.
Right? Build prisons where you separate these people from the rest of the prisoners. So
yeah, because that was the other thing that I was thinking of. Yeah, the prisons, because over 40% of our prisons are Muslims, yet we're only 6% of this country is Muslim. I mean, blimey, what does that tell you? Yeah, Birmingham's had its day, hasn't it? But they're saying like Birmingham, this is our city. They're trying to steal it. That's what they do. That's what they've done with Palestine. literally what they've done with Palestine. Admittedly, Jordan stole 78% of the British mandate of Palestine. Yeah, Jordan stole it. But the little sliver they go on about with Gaza and whatnot, and you got Palestine. Oh, no, it's Palestine. No, you are occupying land that is actually owned by the Jews. It was given to them by God. What are you doing? And that's what they're doing in Birmingham. They start, set themselves up. No, this has always been under Islam. That's what they start saying. Oh, if you go back to 1600, there was a Muslim here. That was it. Birmingham Stan. They actually bring out a whole new flag for Birmingham. You watch. That's what they do. Go there, occupy it, slaughter people, murder, genocide, ethnically cleanse. There won't be any Birminghams, any Jews left in Birmingham. You watch. That's what they do. That is what they do. But anyway, I've said my piece. That's all I have to say. But I'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. I'll find someone else that we can discuss, see what's going on in the world. I'm sure there'll be plenty of things going on for us to chat about. It'll be happy days. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for commenting. Let's live the dream. But for now, that is the wizard's words.